Welcome back to NewsX World. I'm Asuma Kataoka and you're watching Focal Length, where we get you a briefing on topics from across the world. Now, Ukraine faces ceasefire uncertainty after a possible Trump-Putin meeting. Amid growing fears of a Yalta 2.0, Russia's strikes on infrastructure signal a long-term strategy to weaken Ukraine's economy. Reconstruction offers a path to EU integration, while key reforms remain essential. Post-war political fragmentation looms as Ukraine seeks to engage neutral powers and guard against exploitation in future peace talks. Joining us now is Volodymyr Omelyan, former Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine from 2016 to 19, a career diplomat and politician, and also a retired major in the armed forces of Ukraine who joined the military on February 24, 2022 to defend his country against Russian aggression. Today he discusses the Ukraine-Russia war, diplomacy, reconstruction, reforms, and risks to regional and global stability. Thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate your perspectives as we take a closer look at the developments in the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. How hopeful...
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Major. Major, how hopeful are you of a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia after Putin's meeting with President Trump in Alaska?
We show full readiness to ceasefire, and we were not the party to start this war. It was done by Russia. We do believe that we can reach some consensus during diplomatic rounds. But in order to start diplomatic negotiations, there shall be no battle in the air, on the land, or in the seas. Unfortunately, what Russia does, Putin tries to manipulate all big countries in the world and simply to prolong the time of the invasion with his dream to occupy Ukraine. Actually, he failed because all his wishes to take Ukraine within 2-3 weeks are already gone. He is fighting for some eastern part of Ukraine, which make us very unhappy because it's our land and our territory. But he cannot show any progress to the world that he is a great conqueror or emperor as he wanted to be in his dreams.
And does Ukraine fear a Yalta 2.0 in bilateral talks between the US and Russia, and how can it prevent that?
I don't believe that in 21st century, Yalta 2.0 can happen again. Situation is different and reality is different. There is not a single power in the world who can dictate all other countries what to do, how to live, and what kind of future is reserved for other nations. When Russia attacked in 2022, everybody told us that we will fail and we will fall. We stand still and we fight back Russians. In 2014, when Russia took Crimea and took some small part of eastern Ukraine, many Western leaders were kind of ignorant about this fact, but it only led to the bigger war. I don't think that Russia respects treaties or international law or any arrangements. Russia respects force only. And we used to have a lot of bilateral, multilateral documents signed with Ukraine and Russia's signature on them. All of them were ignored, all of them were forgotten, and Russia invaded Ukraine using military force. So definitely we can try to talk. Definitely we shall push on world leaders that it's not the issue of changing borders or territories in nowadays 21st century, but still I don't think that this war will end peacefully. This war can only stop when Red Army is destroyed at the battlefield.
What is your analysis once the war ends? What do you think is the biggest political risk for Ukraine? A return to pre-war rivalries or something else entirely? What do you think?
Definitely for any post-war country, there are a lot of challenges. Economical, social, security issues are on the table. But we learned the lesson. We understand that Ukraine is strong when Ukraine is united. We don't say that Zelensky will rule Ukraine for always, as Putin dreams in Russia. It will be democratic change of power, but our cornerstone will remain the army, because army is a fundamental thing for any state to survive, even in the 21st century. And we do understand that army can be only successful when economy is strong and political leadership is strategically designed and has a clear vision what to do with the country. So those are three main pillars for Ukraine to survive in post-war status.
And from now looking beyond that and looking at bigger picture, which country or international body is best positioned to mediate a just peace according to you? Who poses the greatest risk of exploiting this situation?
It's real politics. And in this real politics, you cannot expect to have eternal friends or enemies. Many things could be different in some decades or next generations. But as of today, we do remember that more than 30 years ago, Budapest Memorandum was signed. And biggest world superpowers, including China, supported the document, guaranteeing Ukrainian integrity, independence, and all other things, because we gave away our nuclear power. Russia was among the signatures as well. So I don't believe that we can build our future on sand, just be based on some documents and some promises which may never come true. We shall be on the position that every evil should be punished and all crimes should be investigated and criminals should be brought to the court. Definitely, it's still impossible to take Putin under the international court, and we see him smiling and hugging with world leaders right now in China. But one day it will come, because there were a lot of other dictators of that scale who believed in their uniqueness and their special destiny or unique destiny, and all of them failed. I think that Russia right now is in a very weak position. They can only make a kind of nice PR actions that it's still great superpower. But the way they fight, the way Russian economy is functioning, it comes to collapse of Soviet Union 2.0. It was exactly in the 1991 when Soviet Union was trying to show that it's the best superpower in the world, and then in August it was all gone.
And since Major, you've mentioned that documents and these signatories, they're not working or they're not effective. What do you think will be effective, and what message, if you have any, for countries like India and China who have remained maybe silent on this war?
Sometimes I feel pity that big superpowers remain neutral, because it's not situation with Ukraine somewhere in Europe, as you can observe from your country, but it's about the principles and standards. Yes, I'm happy to see that your prime minister talks very openly to Chinese prime minister, but it's nowadays story. Risks of territorial questions remain the same. Competitiveness on the world market between India and China remains the same. And I don't believe that it will be joint position of China and India talking to the United States or talking to Europe concerning trade zones and many other business things. Each country will protect its own interests. So for Ukraine, it's very important to give the lesson to the world that you can have many disputes. You may agree or disagree, but you never ever allowed to invade another country, to kill people, to destroy economy, to occupy some foreign lands. Because if it happens once and the evil is not punished, it will happen again and again. And you just recently envisaged very challenging story with Pakistan. And thanks God it stopped pretty fast, but you are not 100% assured that it will never repeat again. And when your civil people are killed, you can never bring them back to life. This is a problem. We can talk about destroyed buildings, but we cannot bring people back to lives. And this is the issue we shall always remember when we are responsible elite for our countries.
And lastly, what do you think is the most important non-military reform that Ukraine should undertake to secure its future also in Europe?
I would say that we can put it as efficient market economy. It means that government functions in the way to help business to create new opportunities. That you have real competition on the market. And you understand that technology brings your country up. That you put emphasis on innovations. During this bloody war, Ukrainians did a miracle with drones. Before the war, drones were considered just kind of nice commercial thing to play with or to have some kind of very specific agricultural surveillance, for example, or something like that. Right now, it's new weapon, it's new Kalashnikov, and for each infantryman, it was the same for.
Thank you.
More important to have drone in your backpack than a gun.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Major Volodymyr.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omelyan, for speaking to us on Focal Length. Thank you very much for sharing your invaluable insights with us today. We truly appreciate your time as well as expertise. With that, it's a wrap on this episode of The Focal Length. For more international news and updates, stay tuned on NewsX World. Thank you.